Hey guys, my name's Tim. I'm in the truck right now. I'm going to do a quick tutorial. Wanted to do this in the truck so you can see every different page and what happens. I'm going to basically do a day's worth of work in hopefully about 10-15 minutes at the most. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here to EzLogz. You should already be all set up, have it all paired with your scanner or whatever they call it, and let me get logged in here real quick. Okay, so I got my truck started. We'll just assume that I'm sitting at, we'll say I'm sitting at the chipper. And of course I don't have a piece of paper or anything. I make a bill of lading, so we'll do this just with a notebook. What happened? Try logging in. I must have got something wrong. Try it one more time here. Damn AC running. Okay. Already off to a real good start here. Let me try this again. Maybe I can cut this part out or something. Huh. Maybe because I don't have any signal. Oh, crap. Let me pull the truck forward. I live out in the country and I don't always get a real good signal unless I pull out to the end of my driveway. I may need to start all over and reboot this damn thing. Okay, try this again. Okay, here we go. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to try and make this short and sweet. You can see I'm off duty. You can scroll through the page here. You can look down below here and you can see the last 14 days. You can click on any one of those and it'll bring up that day. Over here in the top left corner, the 4 blue bars. That's where you log out, that's where your settings are, and there's some tutorials there. Close that. And then real quick, over here on the right where it says recap, click on that, and that will give you your little clocks for your 70-hour, your 11-hour, your 14-hour, and your 30-minute break. And your recap for the last 7 days. Slide that out of the way. So I'm going to go on duty and it should pick up my location automatically, and I'm going to do a vehicle inspection. Click on that, and why is it not picking up my location? Okay, well I think it'll pick it up, it's just not showing on here, but it'll show even though it's not showing on this particular page. So now I want to, I'm going to go ahead and add to this vehicle inspection. I'm going to put load, and then I'm going to click the save button. Try it again, hit that save button. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now it's dropped down to on duty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to, at the bottom below the grid where it says docs, log, general, docs, and DVIR. Well, let's do the DVIR first. If you look up here by the top, it says no DVIR and it's red. Let's click on that. And it's going to bring up another page. It's got my unit number 308. It's got my trailer 308. No defects. It's got the time down below, which you can change. It's not showing my location, but it does want your odometer. So I'm going to put my odometer in there. 207,191. Then I'm going to go up to the top right corner up here at the top and hit next. Shows no defects, and you can just draw your signature here. I'm going to clear that. Or once you've drawn your signature and you like the way it looks, just use previous signature and it pops in there, and hit save up at the top right corner. Brings you back to this page. Go over here to the left, the blue arrow. That'll take you back to the log page. Now I'm going to plug this thing back in, and we're going to assume that I did my DOT walk-around inspection, and I'm going to start driving. So 5 miles an hour is the limit. Once I hit 5, that clock is going to kick on by itself. Okay? So when this clock kicks on, it's going to show 8 hours. And the reason it's showing 8 hours is basically this is going to be your brake clock. So you got to take your break before the 8 hours. Okay? And oh, I forgot one thing. Damn it. So here's a good lesson learned. Up in the top right corner, you see that little gray circle up here at the top? I need to click on that, and I need to connect to the scanner. I forgot to do that. So I'm going to connect, and it'll say choose scanner. That's mine. So I'm going to click on that, and it should bring up my VIN number and my truck number. This usually takes about 5 or 10 seconds. And it's going out looking for any updates for the app as well. So once this thing gets connected, that little green circle up in the top right corner is going to turn green, from gray to green, to show that you're connected. Okay, it shows my unit number with the VIN successfully connected. Click OK. Now you can see this green button up here at the top is green. And if you forget to connect, it's not going to change into the driving clock mode. So once I get going here, this should change over to, there it goes. So now you see it's showing 7 hours and 56 minutes. And that is indicating, we all know I got 11 hours to drive. So what that 7 hours and 56 minutes is, that's how much time you've got until you need to take your break. Okay? So I'm going to go up here into my neighborhood, and I'm going to stop. And at that point, I'm going to, we'll pretend that I'm doing fuel. And I'm not going to do a 30-minute break because I just don't you know, I'm off duty really right now, so I'm kind of doing this on my dime. And basically what's going to happen is with that 7-hour and 56-minute clock you're looking at right now, let's assume that, 5 hours, 6 hours into my drive, I take my 30-minute break. So I'm going to go down where this driving button is down here below the clock. I'll show you when we get down here to the end of the neighborhood that it's going to change to red. And up here on the top where it says in motion, that's going to change to red, and it's going to show you stationary. So that's when I'm going to make the change. I'm going to go off duty, or I'm going to go on duty not driving, and I'm going to show you how to, when you pick up your load, I showed doing my load during my vehicle inspection, so we'll handle that too, okay? And you can do it after the fact. You should do it right there when you're loading. So I'll show you that here real quick. Got a couple more minutes here before I get to the end of the neighborhood here. But yeah, basically, that clock is going to change automatically once you're taking your 30-minute break, and then it will reflect how many driving hours or on-duty hours that you have left. Okay, so I'm going to come to a stop here. Set my brake, and I can see that that VIN number is correct up there in the top left corner. So now it's showing stationary up here at the top. So now I can go down here where this driving, it says driving. I'm going to click on that, and that's going to take me back to this screen, and I'm going to go on duty, and on duty not driving, and in the notes I'm going to put fuel. Okay, and then I'm going to hit save, and that's going to take us back to the main screen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add a bill of lading, and I'm just using a little notebook with some scribbling on it. So down here at the bottom, underneath the grid, it says docs. So I'm going to hit docs, which is documents, and I'm going to hit upload down here, and then it's going to ask me to take a picture. Try it again here. So I'm going to take a photo, click on that, and I'm just going to take a picture of that and pretend it's my bill of lading. Okay, so now, okay, up at the top up here it says OK. Click on OK, and now it's going to let you crop the image. So I'm going to spin it around. Up here at the top you can rotate it until it's at the right orientation, so that's right, and you can drag these lines to fill the page up. And then down here at the bottom is that check mark. Hit that check mark, and then it's going to, up here at the top, you hit next, and it's going to bring up this page. So we're pretending this is a bill of lading. So right here I'm going to click on bill of lading and enter a reference number, and I do mine with the truck number and the trip number, which is, in our case, that's the way we do it, with the truck number, and we'll call it 001, and unit number, select my truck, and shipper name. I'm just going to put ABC, whatever, ABC warehouse or whatever it might be. Now down here where it says ship date, I picked it up today, So it's showing the 13th, it's showing today, knock on wood. And I'm gonna click OK. And then in the delivery date, I am gonna deliver this tomorrow. So I'm gonna choose the 14th. If I was gonna deliver it on Tuesday, I choose Tuesday the 16th. And what that does is that puts this bill of lading on every day of your log until that delivery date. Okay? So I'm gonna click OK. And then I'm going to hit save, and it's going to ask me if I want to attach this to that particular point, but I don't think we need to do that. So typically you can attach it to that line item when I was on duty vehicle inspection, and I could attach it there if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. We'll see where it attaches. I don't think it's going to attach anything. And the way you can check is you click on the grid right here, and that will open up your full logbook for that day with your line items or your statuses down below. And over here to the right is typically where you'll see any attachments. Okay, so I could go into on duty and I could do an edit. Oop, I don't want that. I'm going to do an edit. I'm going to correct it, and then I'm going to go down here to the bottom of the page where it says attach documents. I'm going to hit attach, and up here at the very top in the document center is that bill of lading, 13th of July 308001. I'm going to select that and get the little check mark there. And then I'm going to hit save up here in the top right corner. And now you can see down here at the bottom that bill of lading's attached to that line item for on duty. And I'm going to go back up here to the top right. I'm going to save it. And it wants a reason why I went in and edited it. So you can do this too. And I'm just going to put incorrect status, incorrect data, because I forgot to put my bill of lading in there. So I click that, click OK, and now I can go back, and now you see right here, now it's got that bill of lading attached to 348 when I picked up the load. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the top left where this blue arrow is. I'm going to go back, and now I'm going to pretend like we're doing fuel. So let me change pages on my little notebook here and get something else. Okay, so now I'm still on duty. You can see that up here at the top. I've been on duty, not driving for 5 minutes. So I'm going to go down here and pretend like I fueled for 5 minutes. I get back in the truck. Now I have my fuel receipt. Go down here to the bottom below the grid and hit docs again. And up here at the top where that blue cross is, I'm going to click that blue cross, upload a document, take a photo, and snap a photo of this, pretend like this is my fuel receipt. Okay, I'm going to click OK up at the top, and now we're going to crop, well, we're going to spin that image first, get it upright, and again you can crop this and move it down at the bottom right down here, click the check mark, and up here at the top click next, and this is going to be a fuel receipt. So this is where you add your fuel receipt. I don't want to add this fuel receipt because I'm using my actual log books, and if I add this, it's going to screw up the IPTA report for the back office. So basically right here I would enter my 308 trip number, 308001, and then unit number, you select that, and then the fuel dollars you put in there, right there where it says fuel, and gallons, you add your gallons. If you've got a reefer, you add it there, and your gallons there, and then you select a state. It gives you the full list. I'm going to back out of that. And then down below here, you can get notes. Okay? So I'm not going to save this, like I said, because it'll mess up the back office. So now I'm going to go back up here to the top and hit the back arrow. I'm going to hit that back arrow again. And once you save it, it'll take you right back to the logbook. Because I didn't save it, I've got to back all the way out through all these previews and all this other crap. So now I'm back to the documents. I'll go back again. Now I'm back to my logs. And if I had entered that, it would have shown up. If I'd have saved it, it would have shown up right here on this line item on duty. So I'm not going to put it there, but it would show up just like this one as an attachment, and that would be your fuel receipt. And both the bill of lading and the fuel receipt are required that you make notes on your logbooks, whether it's old school paper logbooks you had to do it, now it's just digital, okay? But that's the way you add your bill of lading and your fuel documents, and those are the two most important things. If you don't do those, you're going to get a message from the back office saying, hey, you know, you forgot to do your inspection, you forgot to do your bill of lading, or you forgot to do, it doesn't really know if you haven't done a fuel receipt, but that'll screw up the IFTA. So you want to make sure you do that, okay? So now I'm going to back out of this up here at the top. I'm going to go back again, and I'm going to plug this thing back in, and I'm going to drive back to my house. Basically, I just wanted you to be able to see that clock and how that worked, as well as just kind of going through whatever it is you might have to do during the day. You know, adding your bill of lading, adding your fuel receipts, and then everything else is, you know, just like a logbook. I mean, what you're looking at right now is basically a logbook. You just don't need to put pencil to paper. You just select sleeper berth or on duty or off duty to fill in the notes, and it should fill in. I'll show you when I get back to the house that even though it didn't show on that page that it was picking up my location, and I don't know if this is a bug or what it is, but when I finish this out, and I'll go back into the log itself and look at each line item, and I'll show you that it knows where I'm at, even though it didn't show on that first page. So it's going to take me just a couple minutes to get back to the house here, so bear with me. I probably should have done this last time I was in the truck doing an actual load, but at any rate, I didn't realize that. I mean, I think it's important you guys understand that if you were using J.J. Keller or some other ELD, they may have had 3 clocks on this page instead of just the one. But basically, this is all 3 clocks in 1 clock. So I kind of like it better this way. And something else I wanted to show you, I don't know if it'll let me do it. If you go over there to hit them 4 bars up on the top left, I can change this into night mode. And personally, I kind of like the night mode even during the day. It's less distracting. Click that out of the way. Now every page is black instead of white. For me, that's less distracting. But that's how you go into night mode. And if you like the white during the day and you want it to automatically change at a certain time, you can go into the settings, and there's a place in there where you can tell it, you know, turn on night mode at 8 p.m. and turn off night mode at 6 a.m. So it'll do it automatically if you want it to. That's totally up to you. I kind of leave mine in the nighttime mode, all day because I think it's easier to read than the white. So got a little bit farther here to get back to my house. I didn't want to make this video too long. I wanted to make it as short as possible and try and cover most of what you need to get going. The inspection mode, you just hand the tablet with the cab card to the DOT guy and let him frickin' figure it out. They don't ever do me any favors, so in return, I don't do them any favors. And if they ask me, well, how do you do this? Tell them, hey, you got the card. That's what's required by law, so you figure it out. Okay, pulling back to the house here. Let me get back in. I got kind of a long driveway, but I just figured it would be better if I was actually driving the truck and using my current account as opposed to using a dummy account, because the dummy account is kind of it looks totally different. So I decided to do it this way, and I still got plenty of time to do a 34-hour reset since it's Saturday, and I'm probably not going to go to work till Monday, so that's why I decided to do it this way. I'm just kind of bobtailing around my neighborhood. All my neighbors are probably looking at me and it's like, what's that fool doing? Alright, let's see here. Okay, one other thing I do that I think, if I remember right, J.J. Keller, you had to do an inspection report both at morning and at night. So up here at the top, it just went stationary. So I'm going to come down here to the driving. I'm going to click on that where it says driving, and I'm going to go on duty. And down here in the notes, I'm going to do another vehicle inspection. And it's just, I'm not going to go into the DVIR part of the program again and do another one. This is just my post inspection. So I just show the vehicle inspection, give it a few minutes. But in order to get this up here out of driving, you can see it's still running the clock in driving. You need to hit that save button down here at the bottom. So I'm going to click save and set up your driving type. Okay. Now I'll do on duty, vehicle inspection, save. Okay, now to kick me back to the main page. And so you can see now that right here, the DVR is blue, so it's complete. The only thing I've got red on my logbook right now is right there, and that little red pin is your signature. At the end of the day, you click on that, or you can click there, or you can come down here to general. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to general and click on that. And that's going to take me to the same page if I click on that little red pin. Okay? And so this is all my information. I just scroll down to the bottom here, and it says draw your signature. So I'm going to use my previous signature. I'll get it to work. There it is. And now I need to go back up to the top. And where's the save button? I think there's a save button on here somewhere. Let me see. What the hell's the save button? Alright, well maybe there's not a save button. Once you input your signature and any other, most of this information you don't need to change. That should clear out that red button. So let's see. I'm going to go back. Now you can see logbook info was changed. You need to re-sign your logbook, leave previous signature, or remove it. So I'm just going to leave the previous signature. And so now I'm done. This is blue. it's not red anymore, and this is blue, it's not red anymore. So I should be violation free at this point. I've done my bill lading, I've input that information for the logbooks, I've done my fuel. It's not going to show on this day, but you know, that's a required DOT compliance requirement as well. So I've done that. My DVIR is done, and basically I'm pretty much done for the day. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, if you click right here in the middle of the grid, it's going to bring up your whole log for the day. Okay, so you can see the attachment that I put for the bill lading there, and then the fuel would have been right down here. So just so you know, you can go into any one of these except for driving. Let me click on the driving here, and it says edit, but you cannot edit your drive time. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Let's go to on duty. So if I want to edit that, I can click edit, and I can say correct. And there's certain things I can do. I can add documents if I need to. I can change the notes. It did not find my location, which is kind of weird. Yeah, I got location services on, so I don't know why it didn't pick it up. But basically, since it didn't pick it up, I can go in there and I can make that right. So, oops, Wiggins, Colorado, and now I can save it. So you can see all your durations up here at the top and whatnot. I'm not going to go into all that, but I'm going to hit save up here in the top right corner. Now it's telling me I need to recertify my logs because I made a change. So I'm going to hit yes and select a reason. I'm going to put incorrect data entered or missing GPS location. Okay. And now that clears that up and shows, let's go back up here at the top, do the back arrow. I don't see save anything on there. And now you can see, since I changed the log, that little red pin is back. So I'm going to click on the red pin this time instead of the general. You can get to it either way, but I'm going to come up here and click this. And it's going to take me to the same page. Now, since I just need to redo my signature, it just brought up this page. So use previous signature and save, and I'm done for the day. Okay, so I can just turn off my tablet at this point, and then tomorrow when I get back up, it's going to come right back to this page. But since I'm staying at home for the next day or two, I'm going to go up here to the top 4 blue bars, the menu, and down here at the bottom, I'm going to log out. But before I do that, this is where you find your inspection mode, and which is right here, and of course your settings. So I'm going to skip that. I didn't mean to do that. So in your settings, there's some things you can look at in the logs. Oops, I want that on property. It shows my 30-minute rest break is required, odometer miles, etc. So you guys can kind of look through that stuff. And then if you make any changes in here, you need to come up here and save it. So I'm going to go back. And this is kind of weird. Down here at the bottom, these little things down here, that'll take you back to this page if you hit that particular little icon. This one is a map, which you really don't need if you've got GPS or whatever. It's probably not going to pick it up. Well, it did pick it up. Kind of shows where I'm at, so I'm going to go back to this one here, which shows my logs. And I'm going to go back up to the menu up here at the top, the 4 blue bars. I'm going to log out. and it's telling me I have to disconnect from the Bluetooth device that's hooked to the truck. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect, and if you just leave it on, you don't have to worry about connecting and all that. It should automatically reconnect in most cases. But I'm going to go ahead and disconnect, and now I'm going to log out. Brings me back to the main login screen, so I'll just I'm going to go ahead and close that out, and we're done with this video. So hopefully this will make shit a little bit easier for you if you're changing from JJ Keller or anybody else. Some of the other ones are just like this, so it's pretty straightforward. You know, if you're old school, you know, it kind of looks like a logbook, and you can email your logbooks to yourself, or there's a lot of things you can do with this. But this video was just for the basics, to get you rolling down the road, picking up your loads and fuel in the truck, and shutting it down. So hope this helped you guys. I'm going to go ahead and log out of this program here. You guys have a good day.